And now it's time for Development Debates, where we dig deeper into some of the questions shaping the future and present of China. Today, our debate topic is whether or not China should be stopped from importing coal. Coal import and export has become a popular business for many Chinese businessmen in recent years. After the financial crisis, the pump priming policy announced by Chinese government has dramatically increased the demands of coal and caused the price rise of domestic coal. The Chinese coal traders, in order to make profits more easily, began importing more coal from international markets at relatively lower prices than that of domestic coal. China has thus become a net importer of coal since 2009, with the coal imported volume increased to as much as 290 million tons, worth nearly $33 billion. However, because of the increasing popularity of clean energy like shale gas, when the Chinese imported coal peaked at the highest point throughout the history by the end of 2012, the booming period of international coal industry had experienced a loss of height. Established coal enterprises began facing the threat of bankruptcy. Large amounts of imported coal had been overstocked at ports in China at that time. In fact, the coal traders in China were a force to be reckoned with in the Chinese coal industry by virtue of the cheap international coal prices already changing the long-time running rigid structure of coal and electricity industry in China. An unprecedented impact to domestic coal enterprises was felt. In the first quarter this year, the profits for most domestic coal enterprises suffered further declines, with nearly 80% affected by the decreasing demands of domestic coal. Import tariffs have always been the trump card for those coal traders. Since China had to continuously reduce import tariffs of coal in 2005, all the tariffs were temporarily canceled, which made the prices of imported coal see decreases by dozens per ton. The cheap price of imported coal has brought the domestic coal industry more nightmares ever since. Regarding the huge market share taken by the imported coal in China, many experts began to wonder whether or not the coal should be imported at all. Zhang Guobao, director of the National Energy Administration, believed that the domestic coal industry was in desperate need of Chinese government support through policy. He pointed out that the new regulation of imported coal had already been announced by this May to acquire advice from all professors and experts. This new policy had put strict regulations on imported coal and ruled that any coal under 4,544 kilocalories with over 25% of ash content and 1% of sulfur content should be stopped from importing. This kind of coal is considered by many experts as an inferior coal. Many of them, including Zhang, believe that the inferior coal indeed needs to be blocked as imports, considering the severe pollution that they had brought to the Chinese environment. Besides, the domestic coal prices have been decreasing sharply, more than ever before, because of the large amounts of imported coal under its cheap prices. Statistics have shown so far the inferior coal occupied nearly 30% of the total volume of imported coal in China, with about 100 million tons. However, Huang Teng, the president of Beijing Changmao consulting firm, believed that the government should only pay attention to the supervision of coal enterprises' emissions instead of the supervision of choosing coal. He claimed that it's the enterprises' rights to choose what kind of coal to use, as long as what they choose achieves China's emission standards. Huang also believed that this new regulation policy on imported coal was actually the strike back from the domestic coal enterprises after they faced severe pressure brought by the popular imported coal. He explained that those domestic coal enterprises got used to their good days during the past booming periods. Now, when they feel threatened by coal imports, they begin to ask for the Chinese government's support. However, many people still don't believe this new policy can actually end the prosperous coal import industry.